If there's one thing kids were looking for on Saturday mornings in the 80s, it was a cartoon inspired by a bleak, hyper-violent science fiction cop drama infused with satirical commentary on the socio-economic implications of the Reagan administration, perpetuating the decline of liberalism concurrent to the rise of American fascism vis-a-vis the deliberate surrender to corporatocracy. And it might have worked if Marvel didn't handcuff them by giving a loan to the X-Men. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history of Robocop, the animated series. Thank you to Native for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description below and use code SECRETGALAXY2 for 20% off your first order today. When it comes to body wash, I'm looking for the same thing everybody else is. Clean, simple ingredients, smooth skin with no residue, and something that will make me smell good because I'll be smelling me all day. Native offers a wide range of scents, with new scents being released all the time. My favorite is eucalyptus and mint, but don't be surprised if you catch me smelling like coastal oak and amber or citrus and herbal musk. Native has even more to offer. Attending to all your personal care needs, they also do amazing deodorants and hand and body lotion. Treat yourself to the ultimate self-care package, and don't miss out on their new limited edition scents. Use my link in the description below and code SECRETGALAXY2 to get 20% off your first purchase at Native. This offer is available site-wide, but only for a limited time, so stock up and save. Again, that's code SECRETGALAXY, all one word, followed by the number 2 to get 20% off your first purchase. And thanks again to Native. Robocop is an animated series from Marvel Productions that originally ran one season of 12 episodes from October to December of 1988, based on the 1987 film that came this close to an X rating for violence, which made it the obvious choice to share billing with Dino Riders and The Amazing Spider-Man. In the very near future, the city of Old Detroit is plagued by crime. Authorities turn to Omni Consumer Products, who have an app for that. With their corporate tentacles already wrapped around the military and healthcare industries, they're more than happy to add law enforcement to their portfolio. That includes the Enforcement Droid 209, an assault robot with cross-platform compatibility, everything from urban pacification to battlefield attack and defense, which leads them directly to the development of the Robocop program. After being gunned down by some of the most violent criminals in the city, Alex Murphy volunteers to be the first in a series of human-cyborg relations. Even after an extreme full-body makeover, he finds a way to reclaim some of his humanity despite programming designed to prevent exactly that. Alongside his human partner Lewis, they fight back against threats from every side of the law, from inside the police force, from regular criminals, and the corrupt officials at OCP. But mostly from Dr. McNamara, the OCP engineer who has upgraded the failed ED-209 as the ED-260, and continues to create new robot machines that find a way to threaten Robocop's existence and his status as #1 product and #1 cop. Robocop the cartoon was inspired by Robocop the movie. Released in 1987, the movie was directed by Paul Verhoeven and written by Ed Neumeyer and Michael Miner, developed from an idea Neumeyer had while working on the 1982 film Blade Runner. The plot of Robocop the movie is the same as the cartoon, but with more graphic violence, more nudity, more Lisa Gibbons, and more nuance. Detroit is in decline. The city hands law enforcement to OCP. Alex Murphy is conscripted into the Robocop program after he is killed in the line of duty. In defiance of his programming, Murphy finds a way to reclaim some of his humanity, gets revenge against the criminals who murdered him, and dispenses some extrajudicial justice to Dick Jones, a storybook ending that hints at a brighter future for citizens in the world of Delta City. Robocop was a box office success, bringing in over $50 million on a budget less than $15 million, likely due more to its indulgence of violent cyborg murder cop spectacle as opposed to its sophisticated indictment of corporations, the government, and policing altogether. Today, we understand that it deliberately used the same visual language as things like Rambo, Commando, and anything starring Chuck Norris. It came wrapped in the package of an adult power fantasy, one special man standing against evil like Conan, Mad Max, or anything starring Charles Bronson. Its use of graphic language, graphic violence, nudity, and top-tier visual effects signaled to moviegoers of all ages that this was a spectacle too tantalizing to be missed, like Freddy Krueger, Jason the Predator, or the Terminator, a glimpse into the anti-heroes of the future. Here's the thing. Kids don't understand subtext. Heck, adults don't understand subtext. If social media has taught me anything, it's that we are a nation of illiterates when it comes to critical analysis of fiction in any medium. As far as Americans are concerned, books exist explicitly to be judged by their covers. That's why the name is at the top in easy-to-read letters. Robocop. That says it all. That's what Marvel Comics put at the top of the movie adaptation magazine they published in 1987, and it would find its way into their film and television production offices as well.
롯데햄 프라이드 치킨.
롯데햄 프라이드 치킨.
발라 먹으니까 실감나게 맛있습니다.
두 날개 더 주세요.
와, 뼈 없는 닭튀김 이건 모를 거야?
뼈 없는 닭튀김.
롯데햄 프라이드 치킨.
롯데햄 냉동식품.
In 1981, Marvel Comics established a movie and television development wing called Marvel Productions, developing animation for internal properties like Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk, and external properties developed in many cases with toy companies like TSR's Dungeons & Dragons and Hasbro's G.I. Joe. In 1984, they named Margaret Loesch president and CEO, who continued to advance brand partnerships with toy companies. In 1986, Marvel and Marvel Productions were purchased by New World Pictures and merged as Marvel Entertainment Group. Through 1987, Marvel produced series like Muppet Babies, The Transformers, My Little Pony and Friends, Defenders of the Earth, and Fraggle Rock the Animated Series. Like Rambo before it, Robocop wasn't developed as a kids' film, but licensors could already see the appeal to that demographic, including Data East, who released the 1988 arcade game simply titled Robocop, and Kenner, who started working on a line of toys. That same year, Marvel Productions created a block of programming called the Marvel Action Universe. Similar to their 1985 block Super Sunday, also known as Super Saturday, the Marvel Action Universe was built around multiple series that were all associated with licensed brands and, more specifically, toys. Super Saturday, also known as Super Sunday, featured cartoons showcasing Jem and the Holograms and Inhumanoids from Hasbro, Robotics from Hasbro subsidiary Milton Bradley, and Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines from Hasbro subsidiary Playskool, Hasbro, Till All Are One. Super Sunday focused on new series they were testing for potential pickup and also shows that could be easily reassembled from their 15-minute shorts into full-length videos to fuel the home video market. Marvel Action Universe was built around a similar premise, a partnership with Tyco for Dino Riders, Kenner Toys for Robocop, and in many markets, reruns of 1981's Spider-Man and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That's two different shows. Spider-Man and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Can you imagine? Robocop the cartoon made significant changes to the look and mythology of the Robocop universe, little things like the addition of a cycloptic red eye in the middle of Robocop's visor, hints of a romance between Robocop and Lewis, larger things like Clarence Boddicker not being dead. It switches out conventional arms for lasers and a greater focus on action over social commentary, although social commentary is not entirely absent. Several episodes deal with subject matter like artificial intelligence, racism, transhumanism, fake news, and war in the Middle East. Robocop the animated series only aired for a single season of 12 episodes, one short of what would have been a standard order of 13 for a weekly series. What happened to the 13th episode? Why don't you ask Professor Charles Xavier?
I honestly don't remember. I'd like to give credit where it is due. I don't want to take credit if it's not mine. It could have been that I suggested this. I really don't remember whose idea it was, but we came up with the notion of doing one less episode of Robocop. We were doing an animated Robocop, and we decided to do one less episode and take that money and put it into a pilot. And I always believed if you made it, if you kept trying to sell something and no one got it, if you could make it and show it to them, they'd believe in it.
Marvel Productions used the budget that would have been used for the 13th episode of Robocop to finance an X-Men animated series pilot called Pryde of the X-Men, universally recognized today as the best X-Men animated cartoon episode ever. I will not be taking any questions. Shortly after that pilot aired, New World Pictures sold Marvel Entertainment Group. Despite animation produced by the very smart and very amazing studio Toei Animation, the sale of Marvel put any potential follow-up X-Men series production on hold. Robocop licensed merchandise was produced, but very little of it used the character models from the cartoon. Kenner's Robocop and the Ultra Police line of figures and vehicles seemed like it was the reason the cartoon was produced. However, other than Robocop, none of the designs matched. Dr. McNamara and the Vandals are name-checked, as are other members of the Detroit Police Department. The line was likely developed independent of the writing and animation of the series, instead focusing on the cap-blasting and missile-firing action experience. Robocop's 12 episodes were rerun at various points. Some of them were released on VHS in the US, some of them on DVD in the UK. A full series set is unlikely given the complicated rights situation. For now, you can check it out unofficially here on YouTube. Robocop the movie was produced and distributed by Orion Pictures. Orion has a tangled history themselves, including changes in ownership and a bankruptcy in 1991 that delayed the release of Robocop 3. As of March 2022, Orion's parent company MGM is owned by Amazon. Amazon, pee on your own time. Robocop the Cartoon was included with the sale of Marvel Productions, which had been reincorporated as New World Animation in 1993. It was part of the sale of New World Entertainment Group to Fox in 1996, and then again to Disney in 2001 with their purchase of Fox Family Worldwide. Disney, you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. Robocop as a franchise didn't end with the animated series. Robocop 2 hit theaters in 1990, followed by Robocop 3 in 1993, starring Robert Burke as Robocop. Richard Eden took over the role in 1994 live-action television series. The pilot episode was a discarded concept for Robocop 2, written by original Robocop writers Newmeyer and Miner. In 1998, Robocop went back to animation for Robocop Alpha Commando. 40 episodes aired in syndication with David Sobolov voicing Robocop. 3 years later, in 2001, live-action television again in a series called Robocop Prime Directives. Paige Fletcher is Robocop in what are essentially 4 90-minute television movies. And most recently, in 2014, an attempted reboot of the franchise starring Joel Kinnaman as Robocop, Gary Oldman as the OCP scientist who creates Robocop, Michael Keaton as the OCP CEO, and Samuel L. Jackson as Lisa Gibbons. In April of 2023, MGM, now owned by Amazon, announced that a new film and television series were in development, to which I would say, I'd buy that for $1.
What the hell?
Robocop is one of several cartoons from the 80s, now infamous for its appropriation of subject matter very clearly intended for adults, along with other R-rated productions like Rambo, Police Academy, and Toxic Crusaders, and toy lines like Aliens, Predator, and Terminator. That it exists is a sophisticated satirical indictment of corporations, the government, and policing altogether. Look, we did it. Look, I did it. This is a success for me. Following instructions. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, if you would like early access to the videos ad-free, as well as behind-the-scenes features, sneak peeks at upcoming projects, and exclusive monthly podcast about the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy, and let us know in the comments down below what your favorite iteration of the Robocop franchise is that's not the original 1987 film. Honestly, I don't hate the 2014 reboot. It had some of my favorite things in it. Michael Keaton, robots, evil robots. In my defense, I haven't watched it since 2014, so it's possible it's getting mixed up with other movies that I've seen since with those same elements in it. I also liked Birdman and Age of Ultron. Those are two different movies. Birdman and Age of Ultron. Can you imagine?
Cut.